Good evening and good afternoon, everyone, and good morning, maybe somewhere. And I'm going to share something about how we work, how PARS China Hub work to increase children's play opportunities here in China and mainly in Shanghai. Okay, when I was preparing my slides, I checked and reviewed my previous slides for the 2021 PARS conference. And I was so happy to see that our Play Workers team have grown into a larger number than I expected. 2 years ago, our Play Workers team was just less than 10. And of course, we were still very happy about that. But now when I checked that our chat group on WeChat, it's a similar WhatsApp system, we have a group member of over 38 play workers. Although we still haven't got the opportunity to take a group photo together, but I think this little profile photos shows how dynamics we are. And our Play Worker group, we call ourselves PARS Development and Reform Committee, in which we discuss a lot about everything about children. And we share the new information we find on media about play work, about children's life, etc. And when we need to hire part-time play workers for some projects, and we also advertise in this group. So I'm so happy to see this growth when I prepare the slides, and hope next year in next PARS conference, I can see this number growing more and more. Okay, I'll start to talk about some problems here and of course the opportunities and challenges. As in many other countries as well, that children's study burden is growing actually, especially in China and in most East Asia countries and regions. Children's homework burdens is really a lot in the study and the play. There's always some opposite thing that we need to fight with each other. So we have the policy. At that time, we thought it was an opportunity that in 2021, the policy that further reduced the burden of homework and after-school tutoring on students in compulsory education, it came out. But as a parent as well, I have to say we didn't see the expected effect in these years, and because the whole education system and the selecting system is not changed. So the children are still frustrated a lot in daily homework. And to the children who are older than 12 years old, you can seldom see them on streets. There's no spaces for these children, and maybe only the younger children, they can come out to play. But the children over 12 years old, usually it's like a disappearing group in the society. And we also have the figure that a growing number in children's mental health problems, 17.5% in children from age 6 to 16 are having mental health problems. I think this problem is a worldwide problem, not only in China. And also that some research are finding that in China that urban children's play spaces are far from enough. And most of them, which lack children's standpoint, are overstructured and isolated from public space. They're either isolated from the nature, or they were built in suburb areas. So children have to be dependent on parents' transportation to go out to play. So this is I think a very common problem here. And when we have problems, we have opportunities. And the initiative of building child-friendly cities and communities, which is a nationwide initiative, help give out a lot of discussions in the societies and in government, and brings a lot of opportunities for organizations like us who provide services for children. And we were very lucky that we pass. You can see the second picture in the middle. We pass playwork practice in China is selected as a case study in an official handbook on specification for child-friendly community building. So this is a great opportunity for us to have the voice in an official document saying that we can use PARS as a tool to help children to play in communities. And also in early child development in kindergartens, we have the official guideline saying that children's learning is based on their direct experience in play and in everyday life. So now the kindergartens are eager, the head of the kindergartens are eager to find the trainings for their teachers in the kindergartens, because the teachers, when they were in college, they were taught how to teach children, how to learn from teachers' teaching mechanisms, but not how to give the time and space for children to play freely. So they need a lot of trainings in free play for the kindergarten teachers. So this is also a kind of opportunities to us. Also the challenges. I have to say, I have been working on these areas in China for over five years, and the playworkers is still a very new thing in both academics and practice. I heard the first presentation talking about adventure playground histories in Europe and in other countries. In Europe, usually the adventure playgrounds, they have the history of almost 100 years, but here in China, it's a very new thing. It is even not a word. Playwork is even not a word that can be commonly understood. So although on our T-shirt we have the slogan that play is the business of children themselves, but to create this opportunity for them to play for themselves, we have to advocate a lot from zero, from beginning, very early beginning, like also to show some demonstration of what is playwork, how children can play freely. So in this area, we also lack of relevant regulations. Like when I talked to local government saying about building local adventure playgrounds, well, they were asking me, is there any regulations or guidance on how tall the structure can be, and how big the frame can be, but actually we don't have any guidelines on that. So we can only cooperate with those brave enough to do the groundbreaking things together. So it is also a challenge to us. And also, to me, I'm also have to work a lot for the new play workers here, because it's not a profession here. It's not a proper job here, so that any organizations or many organizations will hire play workers. So to me, I'm also thinking how we can have a long-term support system and incentive mechanisms for this new profession, play workers here in China. And to us, the China Hub, PARS China Hub, we are finding that up to this year's practitioner, we find that we have 4 roles: trainers, advocators, demonstrators, technical advisors. Almost we do everything from theories and teaching to hands-on to doing the practical things. I'll explain one by one. Our first role is trainers, which is quite easy to understand, that we provide different PARS courses to accredit as many as possible play workers. And our first PARS course is back into 2017. Shelly came here to did our first PARS training. At that time, it was called PARS Masterclass. And after that, I did several courses. I called it certificate courses and also some customized courses for kindergarten teachers and for some teachers in organizations. And our training participants are having various backgrounds. Most of them are parents and of course teachers and also some staff in the organizations that provide children's services. For example, the organization provide art courses, academic courses, or camps, etc. And we have now find that the full-time mothers, they become our main play worker manpower. And the play worker, because play workers, they can be a super good part-time job for full-time mothers. And when they come to be a play worker in certain projects or certain playgrounds, they can also bring their children to come to play. So it's also a benefit to their children. So this is the training and how we build our play worker team here. And also we advocate a lot to hope to build community playgrounds now here in Shanghai. We cooperate with local government, NGOs, and parent volunteers, and most importantly, children to physically build, we call it community free play playgrounds. I'm not calling them adventure playgrounds because one reason is that adventure playgrounds is like a very scary term here, a very adventure. And so I use free play in this playground because I want to emphasize that children need the free time and free space. So I didn't emphasize too much on adventure. I'm not purposely to provide risky play for children. I purposely to bring the free time and space for children so that they can do whatever they want. They can play risky play. They can also play other kinds of play. So we call it free play playgrounds. And nowadays in Shanghai, we have built 3 local community playgrounds. One is called Orange Playground in Changning District. And this playground, you can see the logo here. It's totally designed by children, a very lovely one. And the name Orange Playground, also named by children themselves. And the second one is Happy Playground in Yangpu District. We change it frequently. Once in 6 months, we do some change in this playground. So to the local community children, when they come here to play, oh, it's changed again. Oh, we have new things to play. So in Yangpu District, we frequently change it. So you can see many before, after, and forever after pictures. And also, it's a very cool playground. It's pickup truck playground in Pudong District. Because when we were doing the survey with children and children saying that they want cars in their playground. So I went to a suburb in Shanghai to find an abandoned pickup truck. And I think it's perfect. And we moved it to the city center's community and started to build this pickup truck playground together with the children in this community. So here are the 3 free play playgrounds in local communities. We need this physical space to demonstrate, to do our next role, which is to demonstrate how play workers can work in this kind of community playgrounds. During the work days, children in the communities, they can come to play for free. But on some holidays, we run winter camps, summer camps, and day trips for children who do not live in that community to come here to play. And the play workers they can come to work. And it's also an opportunity for the play workers to practice. For example, you can see from these pictures, we let the children cook for themselves. They can use nails, hammers to build whatever they want. Of course, we let them play fire. If no one called 911, they can continue to play fire. And we have many different kinds of little loose parts for children to do handcrafts inside the room. And like in hot summer, they can play blocks of ice. And we did many changes in our in our rooms that children can play in different ways. So in this way, I hope to demonstrate to the play workers how children are playing freely, and how play workers, they can do environmental modification, how they use PARS series to PARS series to do like environmental modification, and how they use the techniques to decide what they do and what they don't do. And we also use these opportunities to do our reflective practice. So this is how we demonstrate. And also we are technical advisors to many organizations. For example, in kindergarten, after we trained the teachers, they will do some changes, and they will start to have the free play opportunities for children in the kindergarten. And some of our play workers, including me, will be the advisor for this kindergarten. And we will sometimes get together to discuss, and to discuss some case studies and to reflect. For example, you can see from what the teacher said that I was worried. I was very worried because I don't know how children can play freely. But now, after practicing, I have confidence in children. They can think of their own ways to play, and they're really creative. They know how to avoid danger and to protect themselves. The kindergarten teachers, they started to have confidence in children after their practice. And also they found the language. So they say that they now know how to explain to parents why they let children play freely in the kindergarten. So this is our role as advisors. And also a very interesting case that we are doing recently is in a water town in suburb Shanghai. It is a very calm, traditional Chinese water town, and many artists, many local residents actually have moved to cities. But many artists are now living in this town, and they hope to bring art play to city children, to let the city children to go there to play. So they are now consulting us how they can do this kind of play camps for children. And now our past play workers are working there to help these artists to set up art play base. And you can see from the pictures that the first one, it's a really beautiful scenery there. And actually they have many beautiful loose parts, but sometimes the artists just don't dare enough to give children to play. So we introduce interesting loose parts like dry ice, like gold foil for children to just draw, just to stick and on the traditional Chinese carved wood. So it turns out that children can play out to be an artist. They can play with art, and they can play out art. And we as play workers are also happy to find out that it turns out that children can play freely and also live freely in a water town with the traditional Chinese culture. Actually, to the city children, it is a very rare opportunities now for them to have this kind of experience. So this is our 4 roles as PARS China Hub. And thank you for listening.